It's no good news, David. It's only bad news and irrelevant news.
Every cloud.
Brum 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 brum. Hards on, because we got the hards on, because we're going to the end. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, this isn't quite the emergency pod that out of nowhere, and not that there is a real schedule to this, but the out of nowhereness that we had from, Hamilton to Ferrari. Because oh my god, mamma mia. Hamilton, you want to start learning lingo like that because you are going to the Ferrari. I don't even know what they call it, but you're going to Ferrari, and that was cool. Quickly after that, and I know I shouldn't be excited about this kind of thing as something to talk about, which is Christian Horner, who maybe has been doing some bad stuff, but what can I say? I'm just as bad as Drive to Survive. I take these bad things and I enjoy it. Drive to Survive see Roman Grosjean crash and they go, oh yes, this is going to be spicy. Really, the reaction should be, I hope it's okay. We don't want to see stuff like that. But obviously they're seeing it, they're like, that's excitement. Obviously the reaction should be, and it obviously is, that's not good. Christian Horner, there's obviously a victim in this story. That's not good. That's not nice. Obviously we shouldn't want these things to happen, just for someone to talk about. That being said, I am going to sort of act as if I am happy about it, even though I'm not, because I actually like Christian Horner, first of all. And this is part of the problem. Christian Horner's done something, and the way it's worded, quite confusing. I'm actually going to have to again search up, because I did do this yesterday, but very specific wording basically is what was used to describe what Christian Horner did, and it took me forever to find it yesterday. It was like, basically, like, I can't remember the exact wording of what it was, but it was something along the lines of OTT. Christian Horner has just been over the top. He's going a little bit too far. It was like inappropriate, and when I read that word, I was like, oh no, inappropriate's not a good word you want to have next to your name, and also allegations. And not that it should matter, but coming from a female coworker, not that it should matter, but that's just something to mention, right? But then it was like inappropriate, bossery, like he's being too much of a mean guy, and there's no details around it apart from the fact that apparently people close to him or in higher positions have told him or advised him that he should step down, which is worrying, because it's like they're probably saying that because they know what's happening and they know that's going to get out there, and it's just better for you just to try and make this as messy-less as possible. Okay, I had to actually find the exact word, and I had this exact same problem yesterday, but yeah, I had to find it. Accused of incredibly controlling behavior. Yeah, that sounds like it could be Christian, but that's part of the thing. It's like, I don't know, where's the line? When does that step over into something that's actually inappropriate, or something that someone just perceives as inappropriate? It's like, for example, on a completely lesser scale, but if you're in an environment and someone screams and shouts at you, you might find that inappropriate. Like the way people are treated in kitchens and stuff, right? Chefs, and maybe I'm just being skewed by watching all these shows like The Bear and stuff, or about how people can talk to people in kitchens and that. If you were spoken to like that, maybe in another profession, that wouldn't be acceptable. In this profession, maybe it shouldn't even be acceptable, right? But it happens more type thing. So it's such a vague thing, and for some reason there is really no details other than it came from a female coworker. This is what it's described as. He denies it, and that's all we have to go off. The only worry is much like how people don't want to believe Michael Jackson's a nonce, right thing. And part of that will be because there's no official proof or whatever. In terms of court and stuff or whatever. I'm not trying to pick sides, but as much as people don't want to say Michael Jackson's a nonce, a large part of that will be because they love Michael Jackson. They love his music, and he was an icon for them. Now, Christian Horner is that for me. And a lot of people love to hate him, but even so, that's kind of part of the fun of it. Whether you're loving, hating him, or you're loving him, notice how the word used there twice is love. And Christian Horner's just great. He's great with the sound bites. He's great to have about. But a part of what people use when they hear that about people they love, using that word again, doing terrible things, is they don't want to believe it, and they'll usually say something along the lines of, no, he would never do that. I can't imagine him ever doing anything like that. No, that's not him, despite the fact we don't know these people. That's what you'd say. The only tricky thing is with this allegation, you look at Christian Horner and his makeup, in Drive to Survive, it is, I told you, he's sound bites after sound bites. Those sound bites usually consist of I'll do anything to win type thing. So when you already know that's a part of his makeup, then I don't know how far or what that leads to, or what that means in terms of these allegations and stuff. I just hope it can be sorted out, and by sorted out I don't mean pushed far under the rug. That woman gets fired and exiled. I mean no, I mean like hopefully there's some kind of I don't know. I don't know because I also understand that 9 times out of 10 when there's allegations, that's coming from a concrete place, and you can't really escape that. At best case scenario is that we couldn't find enough proof into it, but like regardless of that, it still doesn't look good having that over your head. That's a shame. He's in terms of what we do know is that he's been in the sport for a while. It's great to have him around. The him and Toto thing's great, and he's great in Drive to Survive. From a selfish standpoint, that would be not great not to have around anymore. But yeah, that's been something that's going on. It's like all happening at once, and people thinking like, "Oh, this is awful." Again from like the entertainment standpoint, this is crazy. Like all this stuff is happening. Drive to Survive's not even there. They're gonna be fuming. We're probably gonna get to the season. It's gonna be so boring. Drive to Survive. Oh, I will be there. Like the Pep Guardiola meme. Drive to Survive. I will be there. For sure I will be there. Like I'm sure as soon as they got the hints of anything happening, they showed up. Like before one of the seasons, like the one where Williams haven't got the parts for the car, right? And it's late, and this is all pre-season stuff. This is all like getting ready for testing, and I guess that was a bit like they had all that filmed, and they had all like stuff like that filmed like before the season ramped up. So I'm sure they'll be around. They'll be knocking on the mansion, and Jerry's in there. Yeah, she's. They don't want any part of it. I'm sure. Drive to Survive. They're they get what they want. They get what they want. So that's been going on. We wish for the best, but we'll see what happens. And what's the other things that we got? Because there's been a lot. There's been a lot of livery stuff. Haas dropped a livery. Sauber dropped their livery. Williams dropped their livery. Sorry, I can't remember Sauber's actual name. It's like Kick. Is it just Kick Team Sauber? I could swear there's another like couple paragraphs that go along with that, but it's their livery is the one that interests me most. Haas's livery looks. If you honestly, I don't remember, but off of my memory, it's like the exact same from last year. Same with Williams. Williams livery, to me, though, is just so boring. Navy blue, I just think, like Red Bull kind of have it, that matte navy blue kind of thing. Williams kind of got like more of a glossy navy blue, and I just think navy blue on a car is boring. I think they need to add some white back to that car. I think Tomo, he sort of does redesigns. I don't usually actually mess with a lot of them, but I think this one, get the white back on that car. That car is boring, man. It's so neaky. I can't describe it, but like something about navy blue car just like feels so lame. But hey, and then the Sauber one I guess is the most interesting because it's like black and it's like neon green. It's like a gamer car. It is a gamer car. It's the kind of car you design when you're going for your first playthrough of F1 career or whatever. It really gives off those vibes. And I don't know if I like it or not like it for that, but yeah, like seeing Bottas in the overalls and stuff, it does look like an esports team, and like it definitely doesn't look like when you make those cars, like you sit there and you design it on the game and you think it looks really cool, and then you actually get into racing and you're like, it's obvious which team here is the team that's made on the game and just stands out and doesn't actually look like an official livery. It just something about it just doesn't really fit. It's like when you're making a team on like FIFA, like a career mode team, and you make your own team. Is that you can try and make it and you use your head canon, like this team we got put into the championship this season, and we've actually been founded this long, and this is the kit we've made, and it's inspired by these colors because it's close to the heritage of where this team in my head canon is located, type thing. But then you make your badge and then you're playing like your team's called like Tough Guy United or whatever, and you're playing like Arsenal, when you see the Arsenal badge and the badge you made come up next to it, and you're like, which one was made on FIFA? You know what I mean? Like, there's just something about it where there's a difference there. But yeah, it's black and green type thing. That's the livery. What can you really say? It's Sauber, the most relevant team on the grid. We also have Albon Red Bull offer. Albon has apparently Albon gets linked with everywhere. I've seen apparently Albon's going Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari. Over the last year, I've heard all those three, aka the top three teams. And as much as I rate Albon and I think you do a good job, what do you really have to say for sure that he is better than Sainz, to deserve any of those seats over Sainz, type thing? He has come a long way and he has improved, but he has only came up against Latifi and Sargent. And as much as how are you ever going to get a chance to prove yourself again if you're just going to say, well, you can never come here because you've only proved yourself against these guys? Well, if I stay here, it's kind of like, can I have this job? You need work experience, but this is like a work experience level. This is kind of like a 16-year-old kind of job. How am I going to get work experience when you go to work? Well, how do I get the work? It's like that kind of eating the towel type thing. So it's like, how can he ever leave now? Because he's never really going to get goods competition in the Williams car. So they probably have to try and get to like an Alpine or an Aston Martin and then to the top. I don't know, but I know I was gonna say I know Christian Horner loves Albon, so that could help him out in some way. But maybe Christian Horner won't be there anymore. I know he made a lot more friends in that garage than someone like Gasly did. But I don't know. I don't feel like I need in my life, and so this is someone who likes Albon. In terms of my stress levels, I really don't need to see Albon chucked back into like a high pressure situation where it's like get podiums and wins now. I believe he's got the skill to do that, but I just give him some breathing room. Like it's like he just survived. He just survived this sort of like cancer. He just had this insane kind of, and he just came through at the other end. He just came out of chemo, and I were immediately trying to put him back into extreme sport. And it's like, let's just give him a minute. Let's just be happy he's alive still. Let's be happy in this. And obviously in his mind, it's my career's only so long. I want to get myself back out there, but it could kill you, Albon. It could kill you dead and end it earlier than you want. That's part of the fear. But as a driver, I guess making those decisions, you can't have fear. Anything else we got here? Oh, just some more details on the Hamilton deal, which is fucking crazy. To Ferrari in it. It's still settling in. I've just been deep in it. My care and like for Ferrari has went up so much. All of a sudden I'm like, wow, Ferrari is cool. I want to get like a little Ferrari hat, like a cool little vintagey looking one, like a little baseball sort of Ferrari cap. Yes sir. That's kind of what I've been thinking. Just because Hamilton's there, Hamilton in the red, it seems cool. And that deal, hot. 100 million a year, crazy. Especially because that's 100 million a year, which is like apparently that's like a 2 million a week contract, which really like, and I know this is like one of the goats, but like compared to like what top players are making in the Premier Week, which is also crazy. It's like if you're really good at football, you're making like 400. It's like De Bruyne or like, I mean, Rashford's on like 200 grand a week or whatever. I know Tevez had a ridiculous contract once in China or some shit for like 500k a week or so. But like, I've never really heard of a contract which is more than 500k. And that's including like Messi and Ronaldo or some shit. Hamilton's on like 2 million a year. A week. Sorry, 2 million a year. So I am so... Let me kind of just apologize to Hamilton. I didn't mean to call you a broke, poor, 2 million a year. No, sorry, 100 million a year. It's a crazy. And when I hear kind of stuff like that, because at first when I hear every driver moving to Monaco, they don't want to pay those taxes, they don't want to fix our roads, what's that all about? I kind of go, is it that deep? It's just tax type thing. When you are making that much money, I think it is like probably actively like immoral to not move to Monaco. Like there is kind of something actively wrong about it. Like if you're making 100 million a year, and what is that, like 45 of that million you're not having, and you're that rich. It's kind of like how people say every billionaire is a bad person because you should never have that much money. If you're making that much money, you should be giving so much of it to charities and stuff that you should never be comfortably sitting in being a billionaire type thing. It's like if you're making 100 million a year, you cannot be affording to just let half of it just go to like the government, to like some what are they even using it on that they save for the roads and shit, or like NHS and that. But you should just put directly, like he's got all like charities and shit of his own and like things he's trying to do. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't want to live in Monaco myself really, but like you spent your whole job traveling the country, you just buy a place in Monaco and you just visit family the times you're not racing, which just happens to be back where you used to live anyway. So you would have to. I'd be in Monaco too, let's be honest. I'm starting to speak Monegasque. I am a Monegasque. Do they speak Monegasque? I don't know how you say it. It's a tiny little place. They probably speak English there too. I'd be fine. Or I could just learn, or I could just not be uncultured and I could just learn a language. Hey, that'd be different for an English. What am I doing? Hard on. Brum, brum. Great stuff. It's great having consistent stuff now ramping up into the season to wax on about. And Drive to Survive, I'm looking forward to that. I know that's like end of February. I keep looking over there as if there's like a huge spider. I'm just like checking its coordinates every like 5 seconds. It's the dog. Obviously needs to piss or wants to go, so let me wrap this up. Yeah, Drive to Survive, I'm very excited for that. Waiting for a trailer for that. And if they're doing another one for next year, I will be there. For sure I will be there. For sure I'm doing that joke again. But yeah, Hard Zone. We've got the Hard Zone. We're going to the end. Thank you. Oh, and also, actually, no, there's no point. I was going to say, like, rate it, star it up, review it up. You're meant to do that at the beginning. That's usually when it's useful. So, yeah.